Hi there. This is a set of videos that I put together just for you. I look forward to reading your comments and receiving your suggestions on how to make these videos more enjoyable or ideas for specific content that you might have. Thanks for watching. Today, Porsches include a 928, a 911 Turbo, and a project car. On the Italian side, a Dino, a 308, and a sign. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, a Grand Prix White 1984 928S with 66,000 miles sold for $23,750. Offered on this platform in June of last year with the high bid of $22,928. This was a fair sale. Poor photography central on this listing, but take a gander at the interior. If you can handle that, this was a decent car. A slate gray, modified 2004 911 Turbo Coupe with 82,000 miles sold for $58,000. I've spoken about my affinity for 996 and 997 turbos, and I think that they represent great value. And this is a bargain. The modifications of this car were appropriate and I think actually enhanced value. However, I think most bidders probably took a couple of dollars off because it has been modified. Requiring modifications: a rusty tangerine-ish 1969 911T Targa project car sold for $8,600. Truly, Bring a Trailer and a dustpan. This was quite an auction. 274 comments on the car, and it sold for $8,500. Many parts are missing. It is a $150,000 to $200,000 car when properly assembled. It might take more than that to get there. This was well sold. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On the Italian side, a silver 26 years owned 1977 Ferrari 308 GTB with 129,000 miles sold for $69,308. Listed and closed at $64,000 last November, the high bidder did not complete the transaction. The seller has driven this car 108,000 miles. Fascinating. I love that it's been driven. Still, this seems to be a fair sale. A fly yellow 1971 Dino 246 GT with 45,000 miles sold for $425,000. I covered a similar 1972 Dino a couple of weeks ago that brought $500,000. Today's sale seems slightly on the well-purchased side. I'll compare these Italian Gallos in today's short video. An illuminated, single-sided Ferrari and Marlboro sign measuring 78 by 39 inches sold for $15,500. It's a sign. Well sold. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 911E, a 993, a 996, a 997, and a slant nose. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, a Polar Silver one-owner 1995 911 C4 Coupe with 51,000 miles sold for $90,000. Accident and paint-free, this is an uncommon car. This was a fair sale. An Irish green over black vinyl and patterned Pepita-ish cloth 1970 911E Targa sold for $104,000. A rust-free example, this brought a higher price than I would have expected. The seller seems like a forthright fellow, but the engine sounds like a tractor to me. Well sold. A Grand Prix White Special Wishes 1986 911 Turbo Slant Nose Coupe with 3,600 miles sold for $300,000. Not a production slant nose, this was one of nearly 300 Special Wishes cars created by Porsche from 1981 through 1986. This was a top-of-market sale on a rare car. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On PCarMarket, a black 2005 911S with 161,000 miles sold for $31,500. Lots of miles, but a clean car. This was a high but fair sale price. Another high-mile 911, this a black over Savannah beige 1999 911 Cabriolet with 148,000 miles sold for $18,911. A nice car at a bargain price. The price almost makes thoughts of the haunting yellow sea interior and the funky floor go away. Almost. This was a nice buy. An enamel Porsche 911 sign measuring 24 by 16 inches sold for $775. It's a sign. Well sold. 2 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with reserve prices not met today, January 23rd. A 2022 911 GT3 with 174 miles was bid to $238,000. Sticker price, $195,000. A jet black 2020 911 C4S Coupe with 11,000 miles was bid to $115,000. Sticker price, $128,000. Both of these high bids should have been accepted. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a couple of turbos, a couple of 993s, a C4S, and more. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, a 1720cc flat 4 engine rebuilt in 1969 for a 356 sold for $13,000. Fitted with an SC crankshaft, this engine looks and runs like a top. This was a fair sale. A modified blue vinyl wrapped 1986 944 turbo track car with perhaps 202,000 miles sold for $15,000. A terrific bargain. Lots of money went into making this a real race car, regardless of the mileage. An ocean blue over black 44,000 mile 1997 Boxster sold for $17,000. Not the best photography here, and not the easiest color to capture. Although not a polished surface, this photo perhaps is a better representation of color. This was well purchased. A midnight blue over beige 1995 911 Cabriolet with 32,000 miles sold for $45,500. A bargain 993. The price helps counter the wheels, steering wheel, interior color, carbon fiber, white gauges, etc. Another 95 911, this an Amazon Green 37,000 mile coupe sold for $101,001. The classic gray interior looks nice on this 993, and it was fairly sold. Notice the price disparity between these last 2 cars. It's a little more extreme than usual, but it's representative of the desire for coupes over cabs, which makes cabs excellent buying opportunities. A black, modified 1988 911 Turbo Coupe with 28,000 miles sold for $161,000. A little bit of celebrity ownership and a likely special wishes car, like the slant nose yesterday, this was a fair sale. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you receive notice about tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. A modified silver 1977 930 Turbo Carrera with 78,000 miles sold for $207,210. One of 727 U.S. models produced for '77, this car has an added limited slip differential, new suspension, brakes, a larger turbo, custom muffler, wheels, and more. The more includes this interior. This was well sold. On PCarMarket, a modified black 2002 Porsche 911 C4S with 31,000 miles sold for $48,500. I like 996 C4Ss. Accompanying this car will be almost all of the replaced original parts. This is a nice car that's still sold at a fair price. 2 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with reserves not met today, January 24th. A black 1995 Porsche 968 with 75,000 miles was bid to $24,250. A chalk over black 2021 911S Cabriolet with 4,400 miles was bid to $138,000. Sticker was $168,000. Yikes. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include 993s, 997s, a GT3, a 4.5-liter GT4, and more. On the Ferrari side, an F355 GTS. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, an Arctic Silver over Black and Gray 1997 911 Cabriolet with 71,000 miles, presented by a great seller, sold for $48,500. Similar to the sale price of a 993 cab yesterday, this was another 993 bargain. A Macadamia over Cocoa 2009 911 Targa 4 with 63,000 miles, sold for $52,000. This is a slight bargain price on this 997, a 997.2. A poorly photographed car, this contributed to the low sale price. This is what the car should look like. Cocoa brown is a nice interior color, and it looks good in this car. Another 997, this a black 2008 911 Turbo Coupe with 78,000 miles, sold for $90,000. Acquired in February 2022 for $92,500, this was a slight bargain today. $100,000 has been the purchase price dividing line for me to consider 997 turbos a good purchase, a bargain, and despite having a few more miles than most comparable turbo sales, this still is. A Guards Red over Champagne 1987 911 Targa M491 with 37,000 miles, sold for $162,000. One of 4 U.S. examples with the turbo look fender flares, this red over yellow example is in nice shape, and its perceived rarity drove up the price. To me, this was well sold, a price unwarranted by being uncommon, but that's how things often go. Best of luck to the buyer, congrats to the seller. A Carrera White with red 2004 911 GT3 RS with 39,000 miles, sold for $210,000. When I previewed this as an auction to watch earlier in the week, the bid was $180,000. This car is one of the 682 that Porsche produced exclusively for rest of world, not a USA car. This was a fair sale on a 996 that we rarely get to see. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On PCarMarket, a magenta Porsche Special Wishes steering wheel sold for $4,400. Depicted in many shades of magenta, this was very well sold. A pair of Rothmans Racing Porsche lanterns measuring 15 by 11 inches sold for $2,800. Well sold. I don't get this. A modified 2020 GT Silver GT4 Demon 4.5 with 7,000 miles sold for $159,250. This Cayman originally sold for $136,000 when new, and the conversion by Demon cost $54,000. That is quite a total investment in a Cayman. However, Matt Farah, a very knowledgeable journalist and driver, called this the best water-cooled Porsche he has driven. Interestingly, the engine was modified, different clutch, limited slip differential, and exhaust added, plus a revised and optimized 2nd through 5th gear set, but the chassis and suspension wasn't touched. 560 horsepower. It outruns a GT3 on the track. Nice. Pulling apart a new GT4 wouldn't be my first move. Engine fire? Out of warranty? Sure. This was well sold. A Rosso Corsa over 10 Ferrari F355 GTS with 23,000 miles sold for $155,000. This is a GTS, which means a Targa roof. This car has a factory Rosso Corsa Targa roof. Very, very nice. This was a fair sale. One Porsche on Bring a Trailer was bid with its reserve not met today, January 25th, a black 1998 911 Carrera S Coupe with 73,000 miles was bid to $127,993. On the Ferrari side, a Rosso Corsa 1979 308 GTS was bid to $60,500. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, lots of red. Porsches include a pair of Speedsters, a Cayman, 911s, and an Italian go-kart. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, an Arctic Silver 22,000 mile 2006 Cayman S sold for $36,500. The sellers owned the car for 6 years and added 1,000 miles. Good idea to sell. This was a fair sale. A Guards Red Over Black Rest of World 1984 911 Cabriolet with 110,000 miles sold for $43,500. A seemingly decent car. It doesn't really speak to me, as the funky seat covers make me question everything else about the car. This was probably a fair sale. Another Guards Red Rest of World 911, this a one-owner 1986 Targa with champagne interior and 56,000 miles, sold for $47,911. Unfortunately for the seller, this is a relist after a non-paying buyer bid $59,000 in December. That's quite a bit to take. This was a fair sale. A very nice green 1976 911S Coupe with 82,000 miles sold for $77,911. A nice exterior color. This is an honest car, but I think it was well sold. A modified platinum twin-plug 1977 Carrera 3.0 Coupe with unknown mileage sold for $95,911. Stock Carrera 3.0s are fun, well-balanced performers, and this was a nice buy and a fair value. This example kicks it up a bit with the updated suspension and engine, now pulling 310 horsepower. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. On the Italian side, a red over black Allegretti Ferrari 500 F2 style go-kart sold for $37,169. Unbelievable. Very well sold. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On PCarMarket, a 1996 993 Carrera RS Club Sport Momo steering wheel located in Belgium sold for $1,700. I don't know. This may have been well sold. A modified Guards Red 36,000 mile 1989 911 Speedster twin-plug turbo sold for $165,000. One of 823 Speedsters delivered to the U.S., this 911 has received a custom 962 spec turbocharged engine, along with steel RSR fender flares, modular BBS wheels, racing-style interior upgrades, and a nasty front air dam. 742 horsepower and 860 pounds-feet of torque. Crazy numbers. This car does nothing for me on the outside. The engine, yes. For what it is, it was probably a fair sale. A white over black 1957 356A Speedster 1600 sold for $287,000. Initially presented as a numbers-matching car, it was revised during the auction because numbers could not be located, and community experts identified the engine as a post-1960 configuration. Under the circumstances, this was at the upper end of a fair sale price. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include an SC, a 996, a Club Sport, and turbos. Ferraris include a pair of 512s, one a BBI, and one a TR. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, a GT Silver 2004 911 40th Anniversary Edition with 66,000 miles sold for $40,000. A nice looking AE, this was a bargain price. A Mocha Brown over Cork 1978 911 SC Targa with 295,000 miles. 295,000 miles, sold for $45,000. I think this is a very cool car, and I love that it has the miles it does. I'm usually not a Targa fan. This, though, gets my attention, and it was a fair sale. I'll show more and talk about it in today's short video. A Speed Yellow 1992 968 Club Sport with 35,000 kilometers, presented by a great seller, sold for $80,000. A nice car in excellent condition. I want to call this a fair sale, but I think it may have crossed over into well-sold territory. Another speed yellow car, this a 19,000 mile 2001 911 Turbo sold for $94,000. Also a very clean car, and also a fair sale price. A bitter chocolate over tan 1975 911 Carrera Coupe with 78,000 miles sold for $90,000. This shade of brown isn't considered by most to be exceptionally attractive these days. Regardless, this was a fair sale. A slate gray, modified 1977 911S Coupe 3.2 liter sold for $120,000. The red interior isn't to my taste, but the rest of the car looks well built, aside from the paint. This was a fair sale. An Arctic Silver over black 7,000 mile 2005 911 Turbo S Cabriolet sold for $140,000. This is a nosebleed price for this Turbo S, and the car is beautiful. Very well sold. On the Ferrari side, a Rosso Corsa 24,000 kilometer 1993 512 TR sold for $245,900. With some upkeep, TRs are solid Ferraris. This one looks like a keeper. This was on the low side of fair. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On PCarMarket, a Rosso Corsa 1984 Ferrari 512 BBI with 75,000 kilometers sold for $205,000. Despite the miles, this car seems to have been very well maintained, and it was probably a $250,000 car not too long ago. This was a fair sale. Porsche GT3 painting measuring 52 by 29 inches sold for $525. To me, not one of this artist's better paintings. This was well sold. 4 Porsches on Bring a Trailer were bid with reserves not met today, January 27th. A repainted red 1969 911E Coupe was bid to $36,500. Originally burgundy red, might have been good to keep that color. A light blue 1979 911 SC Coupe slant nose conversion with 128,000 miles was bid to $34,000. An Amazon green over classic gray 1992 968 Cabriolet with 56,000 miles was bid to $23,500. An Aventurine green 2022 911 GTS Coupe with 178 miles was bid to $159,000. A very nice car. A black 47,000 mile 2007 911 Coupe was bid to $45,000. A Rosso Corsa over Nero 11,000 mile 1991 Ferrari 348 TS was bid to $80,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a 912 soft window Targa, a Boxster, and a handful of 911s, including a Speedster. Ferraris include a 308 GTS and a 360 Spider. Those Ferraris are red. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, a black over beige 1998 Boxster with 96,000 miles sold for $9,200. Not a perfect car, but a decent entry-level Porsche. This was a fair sale. A similarly colored 2001 911 Cabriolet with 86,000 miles sold for $23,750. The IMS chatter on this one likely dampened bidding. This was a fair sale. A Guards Red over Black 1987 911 Cabriolet with 209,000 miles sold for $39,500. Our second 200,000 plus mile car in 2 days. This example has a leaky case, but at this price it's an easy, worthwhile investment into what seems to be a car with many more miles to run. Another red over black open-air car, this a 1968 912 soft window Targa sold for $78,000. There are likely fewer than 100 of these soft window 912s running around. Personally, I don't see the value or attraction here. This was well sold. An Arctic Silver 33,000 mile 1999 911 C4 Coupe sold for $30,500. A heavily optioned 996, including some tree remnants that need to go. This was a fair sale within the early market 996 micro market. An Arctic Silver 1997 911 C4S with 58,000 miles sold for $127,750. Initially delivered to Porsche Cars North America for display at the New York Auto Show, this car sold at a reasonable price. A triple black 9,000-mile 1994 911 Speedster presented by a great seller sold for $251,000. A few days ago, we had that modified red Speedster abomination that sold for $165,000. This car is pristine and looks worth double that thing. This was well sold, but may represent a bargain in a few years. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button. And to ensure that you receive notice about tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On the Ferrari side, a Rosso Corsa over Parchment twin turbocharged Euro 1985 308 GTS Quattro Vivale with 23,000 miles sold for $79,000. Acquired by the seller in 1997 and placed in storage from 2005 to 2022, a $40,000 engine-out belts, fluids, and seals service was just performed. While it's impossible to gauge the quality of the turbo mods, this is almost certainly a bargain. A Rosso Corsa over Beige 2002 360 Spider with 26,000 miles sold for $128,000. Sold on this platform in 2020 for $86,000, today's sale price, even at a 50% greater price than 3 years ago, was fair. I'll show more and talk about this Spider in today's short video. 4 Porsches on Bring a Trailer were bid with reserves not met today, January 28th. An Aventurine Green over Luxor Beige 2021 Boxster GTS 4.0 with 4,900 miles was bid to $96,999. Sticker was $107,200. A white with dominant yellow vinyl 1995 911 Super Cup 3.8 race car was bid to $222,000. A jet black 2022 GT3 Touring with 641 miles was bid to $276,000. Sticker was $208,000. This offer should have been accepted. A modified black 2001 911 Turbo Coupe with 28,000 miles was bid to $58,500. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include a GT2. That's enough. Later, I'll take a look at upcoming sales. Hi there. In Bring a Trailer sales today, a triple black 2007 Boxster with 68,000 miles located in Canada sold for $16,250. A car initially delivered to the US, this 987 was a bargain. The photos don't really pop. They look muddy. This was a buying opportunity as many were spooked by the 987 being located up north. A repainted silver gray 1967 911 Coupe sold for $80,500. Originally polo red, this car has a replacement engine, a replacement transaxle, replacement steering wheel, and it still brought $80,000. This was well sold. A Guards red over black 1987 911 Targa with 94,000 miles sold for $105,000. A full sale price on a nicely presented 911. You gotta love those seats. A silver resto mod built atop a total loss, salvaged, multi-accident, odometer rolled back, 3.6-liter power 1988 911 Coupe sold for $160,000. The body on this looks nice. The interior looks bland. Lots of potential history questions, apparently wiped clean by the rebuild. Best wishes to the buyer. This seems well sold. A Grand Prix White 1987 911 Coupe sold for $91,500. A nice exterior and a questionable interior. And the question is, what does mahogany leather look like in a 911? This was a fair sale on an original, well-loved 911. An Arctic Silver 4,000-mile 2003 911 GT2 presented by a great seller sold for $249,996. One of 300 made for the U.S., this is a fantastic like new Uber 996. It's likely headed for a collection, rarely to be driven. And that's sad. This was well sold. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. One Porsche on Bring a Trailer was bid with its reserve not met today, January 29th. An Arctic Silver 2004 911 Turbo Cabriolet with 91,000 miles was bid to $35,250. The seller was clearly unprepared for this auction, and several questions went unanswered, a few centering on the custom tune and exhaust. There's a potential opportunity here if someone knows or can contact the seller. One Ferrari also failed to sell, a Rosso Corsa Euro 1983 308 GTB Quattro Vivale was bid to $80,000. And now for a look at upcoming sales. We have two holdovers from last week. The lightweight 911 C4 ends in 2 days, and it's currently at $350,000. Ending in 3 days, the Singer, now at $911,911. A Ferrari 599 GTB Fiorano 6-speed conversion is currently bid to $185,000, cheap, ending in 1 day. Ending in 3 days, a 3,800-mile 2004 911 C4S Cabriolet in speed yellow over black is currently bid to $52,000. Also ending in 3 days, a Guards Red 1992 911 Turbo S2 is currently bid to $165,000. Yellow. A speed yellow 27,000-mile 2003 911 Turbo X50 has a current bid of $70,000. In 6 days, a Chalk 2022 911 GT3 Touring with 259 miles will close. Its current bid is $206,870. A Sapphire Blue 2018 911 GT3 with 15,000 miles, closing in 6 days, has a current bid of $119,991. Ending in 10 days, a Rosso Corsa Ferrari 512 TR with 5,700 kilometers has a current bid of $234,567. Ending in 10 days, a black roof-modified 1989 Porsche 930 Turbo S with 68,000 kilometers has a current bid of $150,000. Look at those seats. Ending in 11 days, a Polar Silver 1992 Carrera RS with 58,000 kilometers has a current bid of $164,964. I may have said this before. Look at those seats. Ending in 2 days on PCarMarket, another Carrera RS, this a maritime blue example with 93,000 kilometers, is currently bid to $130,100. Look at those seats. If you haven't already, please let me know what you think about this new segment. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, like yesterday, Porsches include a GT2. This one is newer and more powerful. Nice. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, a modified Prussian Blue 1985 911 Targa with 110,000 miles sold for $67,211. Steel OEM flares from an M491 option donor car. This is a nice 911, and this was a fair sale. A modified ivory white and gold RSR style 1977 911S Coupe 3.2 liter presented by a great seller sold for $140,000. This exterior isn't my ideal. However, the work and the build seems more than adequate. This was well sold. A Guards Red 1992 911 Coupe with 61,000 miles sold for $106,000. A very clean 964 and a good Guards Red, this was a fair sale. An Atlas Gray 2009 911 Coupe with 55,000 miles sold for $54,000. A decent 997.2, this was at the upper end of fair. On PCarMarket, a Seal Gray 8,000-mile 2003 911 Targa sold for $55,996. A very nice car and a decent value, aside from the ghastly graphite gray. This was a fair sale. A silver 1987 924S with 85,000 miles sold for $7,500. A bargain price on a seemingly quality 924. I like this. A black 2008 911 GT2 with 13,000 miles sold for $278,000. Yesterday we had a 996 GT2. Today it's 997 successor. One of 200 produced, this was well sold. I'll show more and talk about this car in today's short video. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. 4 Porsches on Bring a Trailer were bid with reserves not met today, January 30th. A Carrera white over black 16,000 mile 2009 911 Turbo Cabriolet was bid to $95,000. A black pre-production 1995 911 C4S with 62,000 kilometers was bid to $110,000. This is one of 5 pre-production examples. Interesting. The interior is described as mahogany. Pardon this rant. The word mahogany has an interesting etymology. It appears first in print in 1671, describing a tree found in Jamaica. Mahogany or Madeira was what the locals called wood. And I think the correct pronunciation here is red. A repainted blue Euro 1970 911E Targa was bid to $40,500. This was originally signal orange. Changing the color was a poor choice, as were these seats. A Guards Red Rest of World 1984 911 Turbo Slant Nose conversion was bid to $112,000. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well. Today, Porsches include yet another GT2 and 3 generations of turbos. On the Ferrari side, a 599 manual. Hi there. In Porsche sales today on Bring a Trailer, an Alpine White over Black 1990 944 S2 Cabriolet with 142,000 miles sold for $12,750. High miles, but high on value, this 944 was well purchased. A light ivory over beige 1976 914 2.0 sold for $20,000. A very clean car, this was a fair sale, on the verge of well purchased. An Arctic Silver over Black 39,000 mile 1998 911 Cabriolet sold for $80,000. This car has reached an inflection point. Its sticker price was $78,000. It's very likely that with appropriate care, it'll never again sell for less than this. This was a fair sale. A silver 1976 930 Turbo Carrera with 47,000 miles sold for $150,000. While this example has had a little touch-up, it was a fair sale today, and it's one of the ones I would suggest may appreciate more quickly than the market as a whole. On the Ferrari side, a Rosso Corsa 2007 599 GTB Fiorano 6-speed conversion sold for $200,000. A car that the factory nearly failed to produce, this 599 is among the first completed conversions. Others have been recently converted or are now in progress. This was a fair sale. I'll show more and talk about it in today's short video. If you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, and to ensure that you don't miss tomorrow's show, go ahead and subscribe. On Cars and Bids, another car we just can't get enough of, our third in 3 days, an Arctic Silver 2002 Porsche 911 GT2 with 38,000 miles sold for $85,000. The price here is an indication that all may not be peaches and cream with this GT2. It was declared a total loss in an accident in 2013. New York State does not, however, issue salvage titles on cars older than 8 years. Its current title is clean. The Carfax lists the total loss, so that's good, but weird. There are additional mechanical and historical questions here as well. This was likely a fair sale, and I hope so for the buyer's sake. On PCarMarket, a seal gray 32,000-mile Porsche 911 Turbo sold for $62,500. A very well-purchased vehicle. I like everything about this car except for the anguish-arousing ashen innards. A Carrera White 2009 911 Coupe with 58,000 miles sold for $45,000. This is a fair price on a clean 997.2. Overall, a nice car save for the ashen wonderland. A neon Porsche Crest measuring 40 by 30 inches sold for $4,100. It's a sign. Well sold. 2 cars on Bring a Trailer were bid with the reserves not met today, January 31st. An Arctic Silver 1997 911 Coupe with 31,000 kilometers was bid to $87,993. A black 2002 911 Turbo Coupe X50 with 54,000 miles was bid to $65,110. That's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Be well.